I saw some porridge in this next episode. Billy's getting it. Oh, the twilight. Before I make and narrate this next episode, we're going to see Gumby reading the new books. But before we do, what do we do before the story? Tick-tock. That's right. We look at the clock. Come on. Look what we haven't seen for years. It's the rocket clock. Homemade. Now, the long hand is pointing straight down, so it's something 30, and the short hand is pointing between 9 and 10, so it's 9:30. Let's see what's behind the clock. But first, we have to count backwards from 5. Ready? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. This rocket clock is based on the original classical rocket clock in the National Museum in Canberra. It's such a nice model I made with my mother. The trunk's made out of cardboard, and it's covered in grey foil, I mean. The fins are made out of cardboard. The clock face is made out of paper. The skirt is made out of cardboard as well, with lines in it, and there's some holes in there. Yeah. Such a nice model. Oh, a video 8 camera from the first 2000s, 2001, and you haven't seen me for years. I know you think I'm about to wear a Christmas hat, but I'm not. Let's see. A new book. It's a My Little Pony Friendship is Magic book. The Friendship Collection. Let's have a look. There's this you can write your name in, claiming this book is yours. Let's see. The Cutie Mark Crusaders, written by Brad Carabine. In the land of Equestria, each pony received a Cutie mark on realizing their unique talent. Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo thought the journey to discovering their talent was taking too long. The ponies met in their clubhouse one day to think of a plan to speed things up a little. Speeding things up doesn't work for them. All right, Cutie Mark Crusaders, Apple Bloom shouted. Today's the day we will finally earn our Cutie marks. Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo were hanging on every word. Here's the plan, said Apple Bloom, beginning. We'll try other ponies' talents for ourselves, and we're sure to be good at one of those things. That's a great plan, Apple Bloom, said Sweetie Belle. I made a map of places in Ponyville we can go to, said Apple Bloom. The Sugar Cube Corner, the Carousel Boutique, Golden Oak Library, and Sweet Apple Acres. Nice job, Apple Bloom, said Scootaloo. All right, gang, let's get our Cutie marks, said Sweetie Belle. 1, 2, 3, Cutie Mark Crusaders, the three shouted together. In the blink of an eye, they were off to Sugar Cube Corner. Pinkie Pie's great at making tasty treats, said Scootaloo. If we can do that, we'll probably get our Cutie marks just like she did. How are the muffins doing, Sweetie Belle? Asked Apple Bloom. Almost ready, said Sweetie Belle. I can't wait to try one, said Scootaloo, her mouth watering. Here they are, said Sweetie Belle, pulling a tray out of the oven. They look, gross! Ew! The Crusaders said all at once. What happened? Asked wondered Apple Bloom. Those are a mess. The Crusaders let out a sigh of disappointment. I guess we're not cut out to bake muffins, said Sweetie Belle. Oh well, encouraged Scootaloo. We still have 3 other places to go to. Next stop, Carousel Boutique. Sweetie Belle, what are you doing here? Asked Rabbity. Hey sis, we're trying to get our Cutie marks by becoming fashion designers like you, Sweetie Belle answered. All right, but fashion isn't for everyone, Sweetie. It takes a lot of time and an eye for detail, Rabbity said, trying to guide the trio. We'll make the most beautiful dress ever, Scootaloo said confidently. You'll see. With that, the three young partners got right into working on their masterpiece. Something doesn't look right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh no, Applejack gasped. Partners have 4 legs, not 5. What a disaster, sighed Sweetie Belle. We'll never get our Cutie marks. Cheer up, said Sweetie Belle. We still have 2 more stops, said Applejack, refusing to let 2 mishaps stop them. I have an idea, said Sweetie Belle excitedly. Twilight Sparkle helps her friends with magic. So, if I use a little magic to give you girls Cutie marks, I'm technically be helping my friends, so I get a Cutie mark too. That's a great idea. Do me first, volunteered Applejack. I want mine to look really pretty. Okay, here it goes. Sweetie Belle closed her eyes and focused. Scootaloo watched as Sweetie Belle's horns started to grow. Ebba, kadabba, alakazam. How's it look? Applejack asked. The other partners didn't answer. Well? Applejack turned round to seek something. Look at her new mark. Eek! My tail! She screamed. It's gone! What? Sorry, Applejack. Let me try again, said Sweetie Belle as her horn began to grow. They're all better. Applejack still didn't have a Cutie mark, but her tail was back. She couldn't have been happier. Maybe magic isn't your thing, Sweetie Belle. I guess not, said Sweetie Belle with a sad look. Oh well, no sense dwelling on that. We'll get this next one for sure, said Applejack. It's at my house, Sweet Apple Acres. And with that the Cutie mark crusaders took off galloping. Hey, big sis, Applejack. It's great. She's great at gathering apples on the farm. She can pick almost the whole orchard in one day, said Applejack. If all 3 of us picked apples together, we'd be even faster. We're sure to get a Cutie mark like Applejack, said Scootaloo excitedly. Right on, Scootaloo, said Applejack. Ready, crusaders? Ready, answered Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo. Okay, on the count of 3, we'll hit this tree together. 1, 2, 3. Applejack, Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo, that's you? Applejack asked, puzzled by what she saw. Sis, help! said Applejack, crying from the apple pile. The apples all fell at once and we got buried. I can see that, Applejack said, tossing aside the apples. No else, Applejack explained. Earning your cutie mark ain't about trying to be someone else. It's about finding who you are. It's about being yourself by focusing on what you are good at. You'll have your cutie marks in no time. But what if we don't know what we're good at? Asked Sweetie Belle. In time you'll discover your talents, I promise, Applejack answered. And along the way you'll always have to help and support of your friends, no matter what. That's the end of this one. Pinkie Pie's parties. What a fabulous day in Ponyville. Pinkie Pie was throwing a birthday party for Spike. She loved to plan parties because she was happiest when surrounded by her best friends. Pinkie Pie was very happy when everyone turned up to her party. She loved her friends, and when every pony got together, there was no limit to the fun they could have. The ponies ate cake, drank punch, danced, whoop-de-doo, and bobbed from apples. Every pony had a great time at Spike's birthday party, but soon it was time to go home. That was a lot of fun, said Twilight Sparkle, seen left with Spike. We should get together again soon. Pinkie Pie thought this was a great idea and started planning a party for the next day. The next morning, Pinkie Pie invited all of her friends to another party, but, well, they all had other things to do. Today, sorry, we have to house sit for some pony you don't know. I would like to. Love to, but I have to pick apples today, sorry. I really need to hit the box, so I won't be able to come. Sorry, can't come. I have to wash my mane. What are the ponies up to? Pinkie Pie was suspicious. It was as if her friends didn't want to come to a party. Were they making excuses? She thought her friends loved her parties. Pinkie Pie spotted Twilight Sparkle and Rarity near this sweet shop. Pinkie Pie hid so they wouldn't see her. Rarity wasn't washing her mane. Twilight Sparkle wasn't reading a book. They were whispering. But Pinkie Pie heard a name. What are they up to? She wondered. Pinkie Pie tried to follow Twilight Sparkle and Rabbit, but ran into Rainbow Dash instead. She flew away as fast as she could. She was supposed to be house-sitting. Pinkie Pie wondered what was in Rainbow Dash's saddlebags. Pinkie Pie followed Rainbow Dash to Sweet Apple Acres, where she spotted all of her friends. It looked like they were having a party without her. Pinkie Pie had to find out. As she gathered round the corner of the barn, every pony yelled, "Surprise!" Her friends had thrown a birthday party. Pinkie Pie had forgotten that it was her birthday. She shouldn't have doubted her friends. Pinkie Pie let her pals get a dance. The ponies laughed and had a great time. She realized that she had the best friends ever. Pinkie Pie learned a valuable lesson in friendship. She would never doubt her friends again. After all, they were her best friends for a reason. The magic of friendship. Twilight Sparkle is a unicorn. She loved to study magic. She worked harder than any student in Equestria. Sometimes Twilight was so busy reading that she forgot to make time for friends. One day, while studying, Twilight came across a dusty book of legends. Long ago, she read, the dark pony, Nightmare Moon, wanted to rule the kingdom of Equestria. She tried to take away daylight and make the ponies live in the darkness of night forever. Legend says that Nightmare Moon is going to return to Equestria, and soon Twilight Sparkle was scared. She set out to learn how to stop Nightmare Moon. Meanwhile, Princess Celestia, ruler of Equestria, was busy preparing for the biggest pony party of the year, the Summer Sun Celebration. The party would make the town take the place in the town of Ponyville. She was Twilight Sparkle's teacher and knew that Twilight always worked hard. The day before the party, the princess sent her student a message. The message said, Twilight Sparkle, I'm sending you to Ponyville to watch over the plans for the summer celebration while you're there, I want you to make some friends. But I don't have time to make friends or check on party plans, said Twilight Sparkle. I have to save Equestria from Nightmare Morn. But she couldn't let the princess down, so Twilight and the sidekick Spike flew on the royal chariot to Ponyville. Spike helped Twilight Sparkle check on the music, food, and decorations. Ponyville looked lovely. Everything was ready for the big day. While Twilight Sparkle was in Ponyville, she met many ponies. Each pony wanted to be her friend. Rarity gave Twilight a makeover. Surprise! Pinkie Pie shouted. She had planned for Twilight Sparkle a party, but Twilight wasn't interested in making friends. She was too worried about Nightmare Morn. That night, Twilight Sparkle stared at the sky. My book says that when Nightmare Morn returns, she will take away the sun forever. What will every pony do without sunlight? She asked. But Twilight didn't have time to find out. The next morning, all of the ponies gathered at the center of Ponyville to watch Princess Celestia raise the sun. The summer sun celebration was about to begin. Rarity pulled the curtains back, but the princess wasn't there. Instead, a dark mare with long, purple hair stood in her place. It's Nightmare Morn, shouted Twilight Sparkle. She's taken the princess. That will be night time forever. Twilight Sparkle rushed to the library, followed by the other ponies. They all wanted to find out how to help. Only the elements of harmony can stop Nightmare Morn, said Twilight. 5 elements were last seen in the ancient castle of the royal Pony sisters. The castle ruins are in the Everfree Forest. All the ponies shivered. The Everfree Forest was very scary. You can't go alone, said Applejack. We'll come too. Friends stick together. Twilight Sparkle was sure she wouldn't need help, but the other ponies knew better. There were many scary things in the forest. There were strange sounds, wild creatures, and along a rock slide, the ponies were very brave. When a pony was in trouble, the others helped out. Finally, they reached the ancient ruins. Look, said Twilight Sparkle, the elements of harmony. We found them. Pinkie Pie counted the enchanted stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of these elements here, she said.
Hey, Chris.
Twilight Sparkle remembered what the legend said. When 5 elements were present, a spark would uncover the 6th element of all the ponies. All of the ponies gathered round Twilight Sparkle. Twilight closed her eyes and thought hard about what the 6th element could be. Her horn started to glow. Suddenly she disappeared. When Twilight reappeared, she was in the tower facing, oh no, Nightmare Moon. She finally understood the 6th element, the 6 elements. The spirit of my friends are the force behind the elements, she said. When friendship brings together honesty, kindness, laughter, generosity, and loyalty, you spark the 6th element, magic. Together the ponies magically removed the darkness from Nightmare Moon's heart. Equestria was safe and Princess Celestia was free. She was proud. Twilight sparkled and made friends and learned about the magic of friendship. But there is still more for you to learn, said Celestia to Twilight. The best place to start would be right here in Ponyville. Twilight Sparkle smiled. And all the new friends neighed with excitement. Applejack Season, adapted by Heather A.U. It was a crisp autumn morning on Sweet Apple Acres. Applejack and Big Macintosh had set out to begin their day's work. It was the start of the autumn harvest. As the ponies reached the top of the hill, Applejack could not believe her eyes. This was the biggest crop of apples she had ever seen. Big Macintosh was not feeling well. Don't fret, big brother, said Applejack. Rest up and get yourself better. I can get all these apples harvested myself. Big Macintosh gave Applejack a doubtful look. You don't think I can pick all of those apples myself? Asked Applejack. Macintosh shook his head. Nope. Is that a challenge? Applejack fired back. Well, I'm going to prove to you that I can get every last apple out of those trees. this applebuck season. Applejack worked all day and night. She was so tired from working that she almost forgot about the prize pony of Ponyville award ceremony. The ponies applauded as Applejack took the stage. But then something strange happened. Applejack fell asleep. Ponies were worried. Twilight decided to find out what was wrong. After the celebration, Twilight followed Applejack back to the farm. Twilight was shocked to see Applejack harvesting the apples all by herself. Twilight offered to help. There was no way Applejack could pick all of the apples by herself. Is that a challenge? Applejack asked. Well, I'm going to prove to you that I can do it alone. The next morning, Applejack had promised to help Rainbow Dash practice an awesome new flying trick. Rainbow Dash stood at one end of the seesaw. Applejack was supposed to run and jump on the other side, launching Rainbow into the air. When Rainbow looked up, Applejack was asleep. Later that day, Applejack met Pinkie Pie sugar-cube corner. She was going to help Pinkie Pie bake muffins and watch the store for the afternoon. Applejack was so tired that she dozed off and didn't hear some of the ingredients that Pinkie Pie read. When the muffins were finished, Pinkie Pie took one look and knew that something was missing. The muffins looked awful. Applejack still had plenty of work to do of her own on the farm, but she had agreed to meet Fluttershy and her dog, Jackaroo, at the meadow. A litter of new bunnies were born. Fluttershy needed help counting all of the new families. The new bunnies needed to be treated gently, but Applejack was not feeling well. She was way too tired and grouchy for a job like this. Her loud voice and Jackaroo's bark sent all the bunnies running everywhere. Twilight heard about the problems of Applejack from several friends. She hurried to the farm to try one last time to convince Applejack that she needed some help with the harvest. Applejack was exhausted, but managed to smile proudly while pointing to the orchard. No need for any help. I did it. I harvested all of the sweet apple acres myself. Twilight and Applejack noticed that Big Macintosh had been listening all along. He walked closer to the ponies and looked out at all the trees without apples. You sure did harvest a lot of trees by yourself, said Big Macintosh. But what about all those apples? He turned and pointed toward the other side of the hill. Applejack could not believe her eyes. She was sure she had picked every last apple. Stubborn Robin. Applejack was too tired to pick even one more apple. Twilight Sparkle had an idea. Applejack, you are always there to help any pony in need. Maybe it's time to put your stubbornness aside and let your friends help you. Applejack knew that Twilight was right. In no time at all, the other ponies are busy harvesting apples for her, instead of her doing it. The ponies worked as a team to get the job done. The next morning, Applejack called her friends together. I want to apologize. I'm awfully sorry. I know the town gave me the prize pony award, but the real prize is having you all as my friends. The Festival of Sweets. The sun was shining in Ponyville as Twilight Sparkle and Spike walked for the town. They saw the sign for the Festival of Sweets. Oh, Twilight, look, said Spike. A baking contest. This'll be so much fun. Back at the library, Twilight Sparkle searched for the recipe book to find the perfect treat for Spike to make. But he had an idea of his own. He didn't want the book with fancy recipes. He knew just what to do. To get the best result when I'm cooking, said Twilight, I like to follow the directions in the recipe. Well, that sounds like a waste of time to me, said Spike. I know what I want to do. Then he hurried off to see what he could bring back. He wanted to win that trophy. But Spike wasn't the only person interested in the Festival of Sweets Bake-Off. Pinkie Pie was already busy working on her recipe sugar cube corner. She put everything she needed into a big bowl with a pinch of salt and a little flour. The pie was sure to be perfect. Spike wasn't really sure what he wanted to make, even though he told Twilight that he was sure. When he came to a vegetable patch, he quickly gathered as much as he could and placed it in his trophy. Everyone loves corn, he muttered. While Spike was gathering the vegetables, Applejack picked some apples. She also had plans to enter the bake-off contest. Applejack knew she would need lots of fresh apples for the recipe, which is a secret one. Meanwhile, Spike realized he was running out of time. He raced home with his trolley laden with vegetables, but losing a few along the way. The vegetables are tasty and very good for you, said Twilight. But what kind of sweets will you bake with those ingredients? After lots of work by the three ponies, the time for the contest had arrived. Applejack, Spike, and Pinkie Pie placed their treats on the table for all the ponies to see. Applejack's cake looked so delicious that she was awarded first place. Every pony cheered, but Spike walked sadly away. All that work, he said, all for nothing. I really wanted that trophy, said Spike. I should have slowed down and listened to your ideas, Twilight. Twilight Sparkle smiled. Some things take a little practice, she said. There is still one thing left for you to do. A job that is perfectly yours, Spike. Twilight was right. Spike forgot all about not getting the trophy. Getting to sample all the yummy cakes was the best prize of all. Last one. The Grand Galloping Gala. One day, Princess Celeste sent Twilight Sparkle a letter with 2 tickets to the biggest pony party of the year. Twilight Sparkle was very excited. The Grand Galloping Gala took place at the Royal Castle in Canterlot. Every pony dreamed of attending. Twilight Sparkle suddenly felt worried. Now she had a problem, for she only had 2 tickets to the gala, but all her friends who hadn't got some wanted to go. How will I ever pick just one friend, she thought. Applejack had big plans for the gala. I want to have an apple stand, she said. I could sell a lot of apples to the guests. Rainbow just didn't care about apples. She wanted to show off her fancy flying skills. Every pony will go wild when they see what I can do, said Rainbow Dash. Pinkie Pie loved parties. She loved balloons, and she loved sweets. Especially she loved the games and was already thinking about the fun they could have. Please, 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 pick me, said Pinkie Pie. Rarity was sure she would be chosen to attend the party. Surely you won't take me along, she said, and she brushed her long purple mane. The castle is so regal. It's where I belong. Fluttershy didn't want to cause trouble, but she always dreamed of going to the castle. I hear the garden is lovely, she said, wetting her eyelashes. All the flowers will be in bloom for the dance. I would love to see the flowers. Uh-oh, Twilight Sparkle was so confused. She didn't know what to do. She couldn't pick just one pony friend to attend the gala with her. Finally she said, "You're all my friends. If you can't all go, then I don't want to go either." Because Twilight was a well-mannered pony, she sent a letter to Princess Celestia. Dear Princess, thank you for the tickets. I cannot pick just one friend. I'm sending the 2 tickets back to you. Soon after, Princess Celestia sent a letter back to Twilight. Inside were 6 tickets. The letter said, "Dear Twilight, I hope you and your friends all enjoy the grand Galloping Gala of Princess Celestia." "Hooray!" cheered the ponies. "Now we can all go, now we can all go. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo." Because a party isn't a party without best friends, said Twilight Sparkle. And that's the end of this book of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, the Friendship Connection. Hello, Heavenster. You've seen me before down at the shack. You didn't notice my hand was moving something. You've just seen this part of the Dover's house. I got it right this time. Oh, I just heard my maker has played a Sesame Street song. The song from Sesame Street is called Sing After Me, sung from Ernie and Elmer. Let's see. I can hear this. There's even another song about an engine from Tana. Who was he? Engine? We charge of what? Never history about it. Right? A lost song called Jingle Bells. It's not Christmas, but I'll play it for you anyway. I thought I'd like to show you something in this doll's house. This piano. Look at this. Cute, huh? You can't just play it, it's a fake. That's what these dollhouse pieces are like. Tom. It's just realistic. Even this chair. And a cute little bed. The blankets, those, so the pillows. Look at that. Soft. Also realistic. And then nine. The back. and a television set. Huh? It's got a door. He can do a bit of animation in there, in the inside of the tin. Another realistic thing. What? I wasn't meant to put the piano chair upside down. What the great realistic. Actually, he brought those for his hobby. Now what's that? Oh, even though he's collected this model chain from the model chain show in Glenorchy Transport Railway Museum. This is a French engine, and it's a classic one. And I used to drive this interesting vehicle on track. I remember a time when I wanted a train for my birthday. A train that moves and the tracks that appear and disappear. I put it in a van, and it was being a bit cheeky on me. It got away when I helped Percy out of a pile of gravel. Oh, I thought I'd better try and explain to you about this train called Clydesdale. She's a French engine. But to your surprise, she doesn't speak French English at all. She speaks proper English, like I am. She and the tender moved together, but there's something which can amaze you. She doesn't move without the tender, but she can with the tender on. There's a name here. Models. Yeah. Made in Italy. Uh-oh. I better be careful. There's a bit of a rip. I don't want the chain to fall out, but there it is. Oh. Oh dear. It's hard to read there. Ran away. That top is up there reading. Ah, a new Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends book. Here we go. Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Favourite tales. Thomas rescues the diesels. Based on the railway series by the Reverend Wilbert Orchard. It was a busy time on the island of Sodor. The head controller asked Thomas to help Mavis finish an important job at the quarry. I wonder why he sent you, Diesel said to Thomas. Everyone knows that diesels are better workers, he added. Thomas thought, oh, was that a jet plane? Anyway, as I was saying, without the jet plane in the background, Thomas thought he was very rude. Diesel played tricks on Thomas. He pushed him under a hopper, so he got covered in dust. Thomas was shocked. For the rest of the day, Diesel said rude things to Thomas about steam engines being a silly steamer. Thomas wished he could show Diesel that steam engines are better, are just as good as diesels. The next day, Saltry brought new fuel for the diesels. Mavis and Diesel were very excited. No more fuel for you, Thomas, said Diesel nastily. You just get dirty with coal. Thomas wished Diesel would stop being so mean to him. Diesel started bragging, and soon as he was refueled. I'm the fastest engine in the world, he shouted. Thomas tried to ignore him. Suddenly Diesel went quiet. Oh, he cried out a second later. I feel strange. Something's wrong. Black smoke poured from Diesel and Mavis's engines. I feel sick, wheezed Mavis. So do I, groaned Diesel. The quarry manager came to see what was wrong with the diesels. It must be the new fuel, he said. Some water must have leaked into the tanks. The diesels had all filled up with the new fuel, and now they were all breaking down. Even Saltry, who had brought the fuel, had been refueled with it. Oh dear, he said, we need help. The quarry manager told Thomas to collect fresh fuel from the depot. Right away, sir, said Thomas, and he quickly steamed away. Thomas raced toward the depot. I need all the clean fuel you've got. This is an emergency, he said urgently. Workmen quickly loaded up fuel barrels on a wagon. It was heavy, so Thomas knew he would have to work hard to push it along the tracks. Thomas puffed round the island taking fresh fuel for the diesels. Mary and Bert were pleased to see him. They felt better as soon as they had been given the clean fuel. Good work, Thomas, mate, they said happily. Thomas set off again to deliver the fuel to the rest of the diesels. Everyone cheered when Thomas arrived at the quarry. Clean fuel was soon given to all the diesels. Ah, that's better, sighed Diesel. Thank you, Thomas, said Mavis. Diesel helped Mavis and Thomas finish the important job on time. The fat controller was delighted. Thomas, you have rescued the engines, he said. You're the really useful engine. Thomas smiled happily, and even Diesel agreed that a steamer had saved the day. James and the Queen of Sodor. James thought he was the most important engine on the island of Sodor. He was very proud of his shiny red paintwork, which he kept clean and smart, so he was always ready to do important jobs for the Fat Controller. One day, Percy joined James and Gordon at the washdown. He had been working at the quarry, so he was very dirty. My whistle's all clogged up, he said. He blew out to clear it, and accidentally covered Gordon in mud. Don't get me dirty at all, said James. I've got to stay nice and clean because I'm going to collect the mayor. Soon James had picked up the mayor and was puffing proudly across the island. When he passed Gordon, he whistled loudly to show off. Gordon was not amused. He decided he had to teach James a lesson. That afternoon, the Fat Controller needed an engine to take the Queen of Sodor to the scrapyard. She's a leaky old barge, so it's a very dirty job, he said. Just when James arrived at the shed, Gordon knew he hated getting dirty, so he decided to trick him. That's a very important job, he said. An important job, said James quickly. I will do that. James felt very proud when he heard he would be collecting the Queen of Sodor. He thought the other engines must be very jealous. His paintwork was so shiny and clean, and he could hardly wait to meet the Queen. Before long, James arrived at the canal. I'm here to collect the Queen of Sodor, he announced proudly. The manager pointed to a dirty old barge. There she is, he said. Eh? Oh, no. Oh, no. The Queen's a slimy old brat. Oh, no, said James in horror. James realised Gordon had tricked him into doing the dirty job. He wants me to get on market, he said. James was determined than ever that he would deliver the barge without getting dirty. James set off with the Queen of Sodor. He pushed her carefully along the track so he didn't get covered in slime. James managed to get nearly halfway across the island without getting dirty. He felt very pleased with himself, but he didn't realize that a vulture pipe was pouring oil onto the track ahead. "Watch out, James," called his driver as he applied the brakes. Luckily, James managed to stop just in time. Oil slopped over the barge, but James stayed clean. Workmen came and fixed the pipe and James carried on his journey. James was very relieved to leave the dirty barge at the scrapyard. When he arrived back at the engine shed, the engines were surprised to see him still looking clean. "How did you all stay so clean?" asked Thomas in surprise. "I have to stay clean," replied James, "so I'm always ready to do important jobs." Just when Percy returned from working at the quarry, "My whistle's clogged again," he said. He blew hard to clear it, and this time he covered James in dust. "No!" cried James. "Oh, no!" It was too late. He managed to stay clean all day, and now he was filthy. James sighed loudly. "I hope there aren't any important jobs to do," teased Thomas. "You will definitely need a washdown first, James." The engines all peaked carefully, and even James smiled in the end. Uh-oh. Tape's running out. Plans. Let's follow the plans of the Tree Mountain Railway. Oh, hello. Again, just looking at this plan of the Tree Mountain Railway. Why is it brought here? Well, he's needing a few house things for this set. Yeah. It may take some time, or not. He needs a station for, being a station shop, and another one for a shop station and a shed, or a shed. The fuel tracks, and that bit is the road. It's just some more tracks. Anyway, back to the book. Up to the Thomas and Lady Hat's birthday party. Percy dropped some passengers off at the station. Have you noticed something strange today? He asked Thomas and Percy. What sort of something? Asked Thomas. The Fat Controller is acting rather strangely, replied Bertie. I saw him staring at the sky earlier, said Percy. I did wonder what he was thinking about. The reason was simple. It was Lady Hat's birthday, and so Topham Hatt, the Fat Controller, was thinking about his new suit that he was going to wear to Lady Hat's birthday party that afternoon. Your new suit will be perfect for my party, said Lady Hat to her husband, the Fat Controller. Thank you. I'll wear my finest hat too, said the Fat Controller. After all, your birthday is a very special occasion. Don't be late, will you, said Lady Hat. My party starts at 3 o'clock. I'm working at another station today, replied the Fat Controller. Don't worry, I'll do my very best to be right on time. Thomas was working very hard on his branch line. He was moving heavy trucks loaded with rocks. His fireman was busy too. He was shoveling coal into the furnace to help Thomas work quickly. Phew, said Thomas's fireman, wiping his hand across his hot face. This is very hard work. On this hot day, Thomas agreed. It was hard work, but it made him feel like a really useful engine. The Fat Controller was working at another station that day. At 2 o'clock, he changed into his new yellow waistcoat and black suit. So, he was ready for Lady Hat's birthday party. You look fine, sir, said the station master, but you'd best be going now, he added, looking at his watch. Indeed, said the Fat Controller. As the engines are busy working, I'll drive my car to the party. The Fat Controller set off in his car to his station. He had only driven a little way down the road when he realized his car had a flat tire. "Bother," he said crossly, as he looked at the damaged wheel. "If I change the tire myself, I will get my new suit dirty, and that will never do." He was wondering what he could do instead when he heard Caroline. The car drove up. "Hello, Caroline," said the fat controller. "My car has a flat tire. Could you please give me a lift to my wife's birthday party?" "Of course," said Caroline. "I would be happy to take you to Ladyhead's party." The fat controller asked Caroline to drive rather quickly. He was worried that he would be late for the party. But Caroline didn't like going fast, and she began to feel unwell. Before long, with steam pouring from a bonnet, she came to a sudden stop. "Bother, bother," said the fat controller. "What am I going to do now?" Just then the fat controller heard a whistle. He turned round and saw George, the steam roller, rolling down the road towards him. "Can I help you, sir?" asked George's driver. "Can you take me to my wife's birthday party, please?" asked the fat controller. "Well, we can take you to Thomas," said George's driver. "We saw him working further along the line. I'm sure he will be able to take you to your station straight away." "But what about me?" wailed Caroline the car, who was still feeling a little poorly. "Don't worry, Caroline," said the fat controller. "When I get back to the station, I'll send someone to help you and repair my car too. You wait right there, Caroline," he added. "That's all I can do," coughed Caroline, as she watched the fat controller climb aboard the steamroller. George then rode away, taking the fat controller to Thomas. Oh dear. The fat controller's new suit and hat were being splashed with George's dirty engine oil. But worse was to come. Just as George reached Thomas, his brakes failed and he lost control. He rode right across the road and fell into a muddy ditch. The fat controller was sent flying through the air and landed up to his waist in the mud. "Bother, bother, bother," the fat controller crossly. Thomas and his driver were shocked to see the fat controller covered in mud. "Can I help you, sir?" asked Thomas's driver. "Yes, please," replied the fat controller as he climbed out of the ditch. "Can you take me back to the station as fast as possible? I don't want to be late for my wife's birthday party, which starts at 3 o'clock. "I'm afraid our fireman is not feeling well," said Thomas's driver. "He's been working very hard in this hot weather, and now he needs a rest. We can't move unless someone does his job." "It's not a problem, I'll do it," said the fat controller. Thomas was very proud to have such a special fireman. The fat controller got rather hot and dirty. Keeping Thomas's furnace stoked with coal. He was covered in coal dust too, but he didn't mind at all, because he knew Thomas would get into the station as fast as he could. Thomas reached the station just after 3 o'clock. "Thank you," said the fat controller to Thomas, his driver, and his tired fireman. "You have all done our day's work. You can finish now and go and have a good rest." The fat controller looked up at the station clock. Seeing he was a little late, he rushed over to the flower store and bought a bunch of flowers for Lady Het. The fat controller in his now dirty, soiled and damaged new hat rushed through the station with the flowers. When he reached the party, no one could see him. They could only see the large bunch of flowers he was hiding behind. As he walked into the room, everyone was shocked to see his muddy and oily clothes. The fat controller smiled at Lady Het. He knew he was dirty and a little late, but he had done his very best to get here on time, so he had kept his promise to her. "Thank you, my dear," said Lady Het as the fat controller gave her the lovely bunch of flowers. She looked in surprise at his muddy and oily jacket and his torn and stained trousers. "I know it's my birthday," she said with a smile, "but I didn't realize it was a fancy dress party." Everyone, including the fat controller, had to laugh. Lady Het's birthday party began. Gordon and the competition. The engines on the island of Sodor were very excited. There was going to be a May Day celebration with music, dancing, and lots of fun. "I'm really looking forward to May Day," said Toby to his drivers. They steamed past the Scottish castle. Knapford Station was being decorated. and the fat controller said the engines could be decorated too. I'm going to wear the blue bunting, said Murdoch. I'm going to wear a big red banner, said Thomas. I won't wear the decorations, said Gordon. Decorations are far too undignified for an important engine like me. In that case, we'll have all the fun without you, James said. Thomas was bringing the maypole to the village. As he went over the level crossing, a farmer and his children waved at him. Thomas said in reply. The next morning, Percy's driver wrapped streamers and flags round his funnel. Thomas's driver attached a red banner to Thomas. Both engines were very happy to be decorated. They could hardly wait for the May Day celebrations. We could have a prize for the best dressed engine, said James. It could be a competition. What's this? I'm sure to win any competition, said Gordon. You would have to be decorated, said James. Not me, said Gordon. You'll never catch me looking so ridiculous. When May Day arrived, it was a beautiful sunny day, and all the engines looked splendid, except Gordon. He still refused to wear any decorations at all. Gordon told himself he was glad he wasn't taking part in the silly competition. He was much too important for that. He set off and tried to forget all about it. But secretly, Gordon felt a little left out. He wished he had joined in the fun after all. A colourful banner had been strung across the river bridge. It was flapping furiously in the wind. As Gordon steamed over the bridge, one end of the banner came close. It wrapped round Gordon's firebox and flapped against his funnel. Poor Gordon couldn't see anything. As Gordon chugged past the station, all the people laughed at him. Gordon tried to wash the banner off, but it wouldn't budge. I can't see, Gordon whistled to his driver. Stop. You can't stop, Gordon, said his driver. You're the express. Gordon tried to go faster to shake off the banner, but it was stuck. When Gordon arrived at Netford, the bright banner was still flapping round his funnel. We didn't think you wanted to be decorated, said Thomas in surprise. I didn't, said Gordon. Your banner's very nice, Gordon, said Percy. I think Gordon has won the prize, said James. He's definitely the best dressed engine. All the engines cheered and whistled, and Gordon was secretly pleased. He had won the competition. After all, last one. Thomas and Percy to the rescue. The engines are talking in the engine shed. Everyone seems happy, much happier in the springtime, said Thomas. But we have to work extra hard in the springtime, grumbled James. The fat controller makes us travel down to the coast to work. I like the salted coast. They're nice for a box, said Percy. Bah. It's the countryside that gets me fired up, really, snorted James as he puffed away to collect some fuel trucks from the docks. The fat controller told Thomas and Percy they would be working at the scrapyard. Where do you like working best? Percy asked Thomas as they arrived at the scrapyard. I don't really mind where I work, said Thomas, so long as I can be a really useful engine. We'll be working hard today, said Percy. The fat controller says there's a large pile of scrap metal for us to move. When Thomas and Percy shunted some trucks into a siding at the scrapyard, they saw an old coach there, looking rather sad. What are you doing here? Asked Percy in surprise. They call me Old Slow Coach, she said. They say I'm not useful anymore, so I was sent to the scrapyard, she added sadly. You are a little dusty, but you look in perfect shape to me, said Thomas. Excuse me, Percy's driver said to the yard manager. What will happen to this coach? Oh, Slow Coach. She has been here for years, said the yard manager. She's not useful anymore, so she'll be broken up for scrap sometime soon. Thomas and Percy felt very sorry for the coach. We'll try and help you, said Thomas, but he didn't really know what they had to do with her. James whistled happily as he pulled the fuel trucks through the countryside. He was making good time, so he knew the fat controller would be pleased with him. But James did not notice that one of the trucks was leaking fuel onto the track. Suddenly, a spark flew out of James's funnel, setting the leaking fuel on fire. Help! Whistled James in shock as he sped along the track with clouds of smoke and flames flying out behind him. James quickly got off the main truck and stopped in a siding. His driver let down from the cab and rushed to the emergency phone to call for help. "Hello. Please send for help quickly," he said. "James's truck's on fire, and they're carrying fuel, so it's very dangerous." The fireman set out straight away. James waited anxiously while his driver tried to put the fire out. Thomas and Percy had finished working at the scrapyard. When they reached the junction, they were surprised to see smoke. A guard was waving a red flag to warn them to stop when it was about. "Sparks from James's funnel have caused a fire in some fuel trucks," he told them. "It's a bit of a mess, but the firemen have got the fire under control." "You said the countryside got you all fired up," Percy told James, "but I didn't think you meant it this way." "Ah," snorted James. "It was a stupid truck's fault, not mine." "It's safe for you to move past James now," said the fireman to Thomas and Percy. The engines puffed slowly past James. They felt rather sorry for him now. Thomas and Percy went to Tidmouth Halt Station. The drivers talked to the station master, and the engines had a long, cool drink at the water tower. When the engines had filled up their tanks, they waited for the drivers to return. Suddenly the drivers came running towards them. "Are we late for something?" asked Thomas. "We've just heard the workman's hut on fire at the seaside," said Thomas's driver. "Let's go and see what we can do to help." When Thomas and Percy arrived at the burning building, they saw the fire engines already coming. The firemen were using hoses to fight the fire, but they had a problem. They were about to run out of water. "We can't use seawater," said the fireman, "because it clogs up our works. And if we can't find more water from somewhere, then I'm afraid we'll just have to let the building burn." Thomas had a good idea. "Why don't you use the water in our tanks?" he said. "We've just refilled them at Tidmouth Halt Station, so there should be plenty for you to use." "You're a very clever engine," said the chief fireman. He called over to all the firemen and told them Thomas's plan could help them. The firemen were impressed. They quickly brought their hoses to Thomas and Percy and used the water in their tanks to tackle the fire. Thomas and Percy watched the firemen fight the fire. They had to use nearly all the water from the engine's tanks. Unfortunately, when the smoke cleared, everyone could see the workman's hut had been destroyed. "Thank you all for your hard work," said the foreman. "It's a terrible shame that the hut has burnt down. My workmen lived there, and I don't know where they can stay now. Does anyone have answers? I think I know where they can stay, said Percy. We can bring old slow coach. They're for them to live in. She's for them to live in, and would be perfect, the perfect new home for the workmen. She'll be really comfortable too, added Thomas. What a good idea, Percy, said his driver. I'll check the fat controller. It's happy for us to bring old slow coach here, said Thomas's driver. The fat controller thought it was a very good idea. I'll get the scrapyard manager to clean her up so she'll be ready for you to connect her, he said. Old slow coach is now a very happy coach indeed. I can't thank you enough. I feel splendid, she said to Thomas and Percy, as they took her down to her new home at the seaside. When they arrived, everyone agreed that there really was nothing old or slow about Coach, who would continue to be a really useful coach forevermore. The end. Well, that's the end of my little show for today. Oh, and it's nice to see this video 8 camera. When he makes a film from it, he puts it in the digital 8 camera. Clever, huh? It was rather treasure day for Percy. He was forming a camp for friends and family relatives. The fat controller told him he'll get another engine, which will live with them on Tasman Sodor. That's my brother, said Percy. He's like the big saddle tank engines. Well, I didn't know he would be, said the fat controller. He went to the dock to meet the green saddle tank engine that was like the others and wilted. You're Percy's brother, I suppose? He asked the new engine kindly. Yes, I am. I'm Smelly. I haven't seen Percy for years, since you brought him to Tasman Sodor. How did you know? The books and television series of Thomas's showed him to me. Oh yes, I think he'll be longing to meet you. Billy was called to the Greendale church. My brother Smelly, sir. Oh, how nice of him to come. He was taken to the museum to wait for new life, like 2014. Boy, he got a lot of crabs a while back. The fat controller was surprised. It seems Percy had raised a family of brothers. Don't forget you're taking the stone today, he said. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. During the week, during the work of the day, it was raining, but everyone knew work needs to be done, not avoided in the shed. It was taking some fish to Puffing Bitter Station. He hated wet days. Just the sort of weather when you eat porridge for breakfast, laughed Billy's driver. What's porridge? Asked Billy. It's difficult to describe, admitted the fireman. You boil oatmeal in water, which makes a sort of sticky soup, finished the driver. Then you add milk and sugar. Yum. At Puffing Billy, sacks were being stacked on the platform. The men who had filled them had worked fast, and they had not tied the sacks properly. Some of them fell on the line. As one of them put the last one on top, 2 sacks split open, and the oatmeal inside burst out, covering everything. The pouring rain quickly turned it into a sort of sticky soup. At that moment, Billy appeared. He wasn't going fast, but couldn't prevent himself from splashing into a puddle of the porridge. Ugh! He exclaimed and stopped. What on earth? He delivered the last lot of fish and decided to get a bath. He was awful, wet, sticky and cold. When he peered at the white cloak, "You clumsy workman." "Oh dear, Billy," said the driver, "it looks like you found out about the porridge the hard way. But the thing is, you're supposed to eat it, not paddle in it." Billy didn't think it was funny. He was cleaned just in time to see Smelly coming. Hello, he said. I haven't seen you since I was in the museum for a very long time. Till 2014. It's good to see you again. Hello, Smelly. Good to see you too. Here's Smelly's tail. A tail means starboard, not, a creature's tail, Celestia. Hello, everyone. Now, I've got something to show you, which is for the Australian railway people, including my friends Graham Hawes and Doreen Smith, part of the We Georgia Wood Society, and have We Georgia Wood restored. Today we have some interesting big Australian train, a big Australian steam train, one of the 38 class locos. 3801, that's right, 3801, one of these great Australian steam trains made in the 40s. This engine, I thought, is perfect for my YouTube film. As you can see, it's not a bad now, it's a place bid. The price is $86.55, and the postage is $20, which is okay because I've got $20. It's got 8 days and 20 hours left. Such a beautiful locomotive. Oh. That's my sister just said to me if I can put it in the watch list, but I can't.
Yes, hello.
Ignore her. Spine. Ignore her spitting her tongue at me. You're lucky to have a safe railway. Smelly told Percy and Billy. Mine was nothing but a criminal town. I was born and was ready for work, but as I did my first one, I had a controller which is a nightmare to me. His name is Dr. Beeching, who made every driver lose work. He half knows me, and I know him. He used to be in school, but was kicked out when he hated change. In fact, everything its way was not right. He thought it would, but, well, mindlessly, he wanted to run something himself, and his hatred did get the better of some things. He had no friends at all. I knew I had to work on another railway before he mocked me with his threatenings. My first day's work on the first railway was a waste of time. With Dr. Beeching hired as controller, horrible mocking truth. This one of Smelly's jobs was doing the stonework. That harbour was a great place till it went bad on poor Billy. He escaped it 2 years later. We got it reopened for business, said Percy. The cries of Dr. Beeching were forgotten, said Billy. He never has much sense, that person, Beeching, and never tells the truth. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Smelly smiled. I worked in that dock too, where you lived, Billy, he said. And I have this tale to tell you. I kept a secret a long time ago. It's in a diary about my adventures when my first railway was secretly invaded by Dr. Beeching's diesels. They were smuggling me away from my first home, taking me to the scrapyard. He was doing it because I spied on him. When he looked at me, he ran off, realizing I knew his secret. As we arrived at the scrapyard, I was put in a siding. They weren't ready to scrap me yet. As I was thinking of some clever way to lose my enemies and the magic engine, so I drove myself and began to escape the scrapyards. Soon I was free. Well, went on Smelly, I knew I can't go back to my first home, which would be given to someone else like you, Billy. So, I went on the run to another railway. It was running, and I was glad to do the stonework. I did the stonework every day. But it didn't last long, my living in a second railway. I saw one of the diesels with Dr. Beeching coming after me. I quickly ran off to lose him. I came to Tasmania to stay for a few days. Well, live in it because I didn't want to live in England anymore. But I forgot there was a bridge. It was connected to where I was hiding. I looked at the bridge and thought my enemies would come after me still. One day, when I went to work in the railway in Australia I was living in, I saw Dr. Beeching and his trains coming. Oh no, I thought. I'll have to get him off this other island so I can live in peace. I quickly sneaked away to Puffing Billy to lure them away back to the bridge. Doing my magic again, Dr. Beeching and his trains came in to see if I was in the shed. The green engine shall be in the shed, he said. Say, what happened to that green engine we smuggled that was here a minute ago? He sneaked away, boss. We better find him again. I was in Puffing Billy, waiting for them. When they tried to get me, I vanished again after I put a puddle of shame in the line to curse Dr. Beeching. But he jumped clear, and his train got vanished to the underworld. I came back. Finding him facing me. You won't get away with something from me, you brat, he said rather mindlessly angry. While he talked on, I secretly wished some smoke on him. Making him get some nervous scared, he noticed himself being picked up. He tried to struggle, but he couldn't. Let me go, you brat, he sputtered. I'll scrap you. Oh, think you can, sir. I'll brush you on the tree. Ouch! Stop it! That's my secret servant to you. And my smoke's just taking your tools. Hey, give them back. They're part of my job. No, it's not. It's a rat. Doing some work. It's a rat's work. Now you listen to me. Engines who are young need to live without uneducated people like you to make wrong things. I'll put the same spell on you to make you think of the shame you did. It won't leave you alone. Let me go, please, I promise I'll silence. You know you can't make an excuse to anyone. You'll get found out if you're not careful. I'm tossing you back to England. Where? That's got me better. Thank goodness he's gone. Now I can work. Percy Billy was silent. Did Dr. Beeching die when he retired work? Percy Billy. Oh yes he did, said Smelly. But he didn't eat for years. He had no birthdays and Christmases either. He stayed in his house in bed till he died. His soul went hiding and was planning events on any engine. I made him lose his memory so he wouldn't remember who threat him back. Us and Billy could only agree. Another same story, the same as Thomas and Gordon. Oh, creations. Smelly and Flying Scotsman. Smelly was an even smaller tank engine hauled in big tree sheds. He has 6 green wheels, a small, tiny funnel, and a water can, a few things that saddle tank engines are made. He was a fussy little engine, always pulling coaches about. He pulls them to Hilltop Station, ready for the big engines to take out on long trips. And when trains came in and the people had got out, he would pull the empty coaches away so that the big engines could go and rest. He was cheeky too. He used to play tricks on the other engines. He liked to come quietly beside them and make them jump. One day, Flying Scotsman was resting on a siding. He was a bit tired. The big express had been late. He was just going to sleep when Smelly came up in his cheeky way. Wake up, lazy bones! Ha 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 ha! Do some hard work for a change. You can't catch me! Ha 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 ha! And he ran off, laughing. Instead of going to sleep again, Flying Scotsman thought how he could pay Smelly out. One morning, Smelly wouldn't wake up. His crew couldn't make him start. It was nearly time for the express. The people were waiting, but the coaches weren't ready. At last, Smelly started. Oh dear, he yawned. The coaches were very impatient. Come on, hurry up, we'll be late. Smelly gave them a rude bump. Oh! And started for the station. Come on, stop dawdling. The coaches are now very cross. Where have you been? Flying Scotsman said, hurry up, you. Hurry up yourself. Don't worry, I will. And almost before the coaches had stopped moving, Flying Scotsman came out of his siding and was coupled to the train. come on, get in quickly, please. So the people got in quickly. The signal went down. The clock struck the hour. The guard waved his green flag, and Flying Scotsman was ready to start. Smelly usually pushed behind the big trains to help them start, but he was always uncoupled first, so that when the train was running nicely, he could stop and go back. This time he was late, and Flying Scotsman had started so quickly that they forgot to uncouple Smelly. It moved slowly at first, with some grumblings to the coaches from Flying Scotsman and a bit of teasing went from Smelly. Then the train went faster and faster. Too fast for Smelly. He wanted to stop, but he couldn't. Stop, stop! I can't keep up! You're going too fast! Flying Scotsman laughed. Coaches chuckled with glee. You can't get away. Poor Smelly had gone faster than he had ever been before. He was out of breath and his wheels hurt him, but he had to go on and on and on. Oh dear, I shall never be the same again. Oh, my wheels will be quite worn out. At last, they stopped at a station. Everyone laughed to see Smelly puffing and panting behind. They uncoupled him, and he went to the water tower to get a drink. Flying Scotsman chuckled as he left. Well, little Smelly, now you'll know what hard work means, don't you? Poor Smelly couldn't answer. He had no breath. He finished his drink and went home very slowly. He was careful afterwards never to be cheeky at all. Flying Scotsman again. Smelly's learning. He wants to pull a chain. Can't do it without learning. Smelly's chain. Smelly often grumbled because he was not allowed to pull passenger trains. The other ensigns said to him, "You can't pull a passenger train. You still have to learn." "I know, gentlemen." One night, he was alone. The others were asleep. He was thinking of what to do at night. There was an old coach he saw, and it needed some new glass windows. That gave him an idea. A very good idea. A very good idea indeed. "I can take the coach," he told himself. His driver still in bed, so he did his magic again. Move himself very quietly. He moved to the coach. He moved to the coach, coupled onto it and set off. He was steaming for the night, getting it to the shed where workmen can get the coach new windows. As he arrived, the sun was about to come up, but he kept working. Getting the coach in the shed. By the time he was finished, he went home. A signalman came up when he arrived home. Hello, Smelly. What are you doing here this early? Helping an old coach get new glass windows, said Smelly. Nobody took it there. He explained his secret of how he got here. I'm a magic engine, and I can drive myself. Oh, my word. Oh, that's most interesting. If I were you, I'd get home. Your friends would wonder where you got to. He came back to the shed just as they were waking up. Someone said, "Hey, the Smelly who took the old coach to the works. I suspect he has done some bit of work himself in secret." Smelly decided to tell them the truth. "I'm a magic engine, you'll see. I can drive myself." They all gasped at him. "Tell us how you became one," they said. So he did. After he finished his story, they told him it was to be kept a secret. They all knew they can't tell anyone who doesn't believe in any engine with magic.